rights to know of certain rights, privilege. They're human and they are different rights as consumers. I would like to now present point number 3, unemployment benefit for ministers and the discrimination versus the unemployed workers. Okay, we have in our hands, or I have in my hands, the chapter on the general provision. It's a national ordinance regulating the benefit and pension for political authorities and pension for the surviving dependents. The pension regulation for political authorities. Why this is now an issue for us? Because while we are now for the workers, and they should know, we are now seeing that as of the 1st of January 2018, the pension age for your old age pension has increased to 62, and there are already talks and plans are already on its way for the increase to 65, because the advisory body for civil servants, which is HEOA, we are part of a work group that on a weekly basis, every Wednesday, we have meetings at the General Pension Fund of St. Martin, revising and looking at the articles of that pension fund, where the articles are now being looked after to adapt them and make them more practical. And one of the changes that is there is, of course, the age of increase of 62 to 65. So therefore, in the back of all of this, we are looking now, anti-poverty platform, the consumer agency, we are looking at the workers and the status. After Hurricane Irma and Maria, a number of persons were just faced with this, imbalance in their income by being displaced from the workplace. They are now unemployed, and most of our workers that are unemployed, they are now left without any benefits, without any unemployment benefits. Then it brings you to the question, how is it possible that the ministers and the political, let's say, arena could arrange unemployment benefits for themselves and not for the people that vote for them? Article 2 of the chapter of benefits is saying a political authority who has been dismissed and has not yet reached the age 60, I guess they would have to adjust this to 62 or 65, but on the date of the dismissal is entitled to a benefit from the date in which the dismissal commenced, pursuant to the following articles. And of course, that is no entitlement if he's going back in position, etc., or if this person is convicted of a crime. But if these two articles are not applicable, then the right is granted for the duration of a term in which the relevant person served as a political authority, but for at least the term of 1 year and for no more than a term of 2 years. So if you calculate at least the term of 1 year, what is there in place for the workers that are now dismissed, whether via the mass dismissal requests at the labor office or via, for example, just the business closing and going and nobody saying anything? What is there in place for those workers? We as unions, now I'm speaking the unions in the chamber, we felt that the sistentia, which actually applies to businesses that goes bankrupt, the sistentia payment that has to be paid via the SZV. That is a payment that is not all the time applicable to all workers that are unemployed. For that reason, we feel that based on the social protection floor, it is time that the political arena make new laws or create a fund where this unemployed benefit is being addressed similar to what is in their law for them, because there are also even parts of their law where percentage-wise they can still have an income. If a politician is in need, after getting a salary, is in need of an unemployment benefit to feed himself and his family, what do you think a worker would be entitled to? So this is a discrimination against the same people that have to vote for the political arena and the political representatives. It is time that we come forward as a platform and also present this together with the unions, present this and demand that human rights be upheld and that the workers that are displaced because of no real fault of their own, that they too should be entitled to unemployment benefit with also pension. The persons that are close to the age of pension should also be able to receive that.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NV.
National Alliance Moving Forward is not just an election campaign party, it's a party of the people all through the year. You will see, after this election, continued activities from the National Alliance. The membership of the National Alliance is supposed to pay 10 guilders a month to belong to it. You know, like Lions have members and they pay a fee, Rotary, Rotaract, you pay a fee to belong. You pay a fee to contribute to the running of the party. We want to reach, my goal with this party is to reach to a point where we have enough paying members that we don't need to be asking for sponsors, that we could put on different events throughout the 4 years, because we will then have matured to the point, change the system to the point that this foolishness of changing government every year and a half too is stopped. And then we will be able to come the next 4 years be able to put on a campaign that is based on our grassroots, that can move out, that will spend not excessive amounts of money, because look now, after a hurricane, you're stuck with just radio, you're stuck with your humans on the ground, right? And you know, we're not putting up big old billboards. So you have to get your message to the people some other way. You have to get your message to the people some other way. And the National Alliance has a strong base. We don't have fickle voters. We have voters that stick with us. And even those who vex, oh, Only now we're coming back because it's election. Once you explain, once you sit and you discuss, they're like, don't worry, we with you. And with every new voter, every voter that we had before, and all of those that have come back, seeing that spreading of the vote thing only creates more ship jumping, only creates more possibilities for coalition. They are seeing we are stronger together. Let's do this for the people of St. Martin. And I look forward to seeing the people support us. Yes, we know some people are still suffering. Yes, we know some people are still hurting or they're losing jobs. But the National Alliance government have put money on the budget for you that VSR should be able to give more people assistance, more people medical assistance, assist with the feeding. All school children will continue to receive food for the rest of the year if all goes well. The plans that we laid and are still laying go well. We started with 3 months. We as government put extra in the budget to be able to carry it, and seeing the actual logistics and how it's carrying it out, it's quite expensive. Red Cross has agreed to extend it. So we get a little reprieve there on our budget again. Whereas they are going to carry it for another 3 months, and then hopefully then the next 6 months, which will take us down to the end of 2018. Very, very positive feedback. How can you say this government wasn't working? Give us an opportunity to go in there with a full mandate, that there will be no movement for 4 years. Give a government an opportunity, not because, there's 550 million floating out there and we want to be part of that spending. No. Right now, the money's being spent already. Money's being spent because those entities that were able to hold meetings with Mr. Arkenbout when he was here, with Mr. Laytons, with this one and then the other one, SCDF is receiving funds to assist with roofing too. White and Yellow Cross is receiving funds to assist with roofing too. Government has their budget to assist with roofing too. So even if your roofing is fixed now, within the next 3 to 6 months, I believe we can see a huge turnaround, and they started with this government. Even if it comes out with that new government, people laying on for 1 minute believe that because you reach in there, that change happened. All of this was being done. The Minister of Rumi has been working like a dog to get it done, working hard to get it done, bringing in advice, being told, no, it's missing this, take it back. Nope, you have to go through your due diligence with this and that. Listen, if it was possible, like how they had say, just give USM the money, the Minister of Rumi would have just give the people the money long time to let them go Koiman and get it. But the prices at Koiman went up. The prices at all the local places went up. So it was more feasible to order the material from outside in bulk to be able to fix the roofs. And to do that, it went to the governor. They're like, there should have been a bidding process. Came back, there was a bidding process. That is what is the delay. Because even when you as a government decide you want to do things without due diligence, you're sending it up to the governor to get a LBA sign. He's not going to sign it if your process isn't done, whether it's for the good of the country or the bad of the country. Send back. So the Minister of Rumi did his due diligence. The delay in the roofing project is because it is logistically a nightmare. He had it set up. There were X amount of houses that needed just material, X amount of houses that needed labor and material. Others that said they just needed labor, I could buy my material. That's all set up and ready to go. I got to give Minister Emmanuel kudos. He has his waste to energy plant ready to go. Ready to go. Power purchase agreement with GB lagging behind. Then you have to ask yourself, why is a government-owned company holding back the progress of the country where we are reducing the garbage pile? We are producing alternative forms of energy, reducing the carbon footprint, and you're delaying to sign off on it? Really? Then they said, it's because there's another company offering for less than the amount of cents that the minister put. But for that amount of cents, that other company is not mining the hill. They're talking about starting from scratch, so then the mountain that is smoking will continue to smoke. So the minister's proposal not only deals with the smoking mountain, which was dormant for the longest a while, but what's going on under the mountain, which was not created by the National Alliance government, let us get that straight, but guaranteed. Every time this government was in, they prepared documents to get that waste moved. And every time we are on the brink of it, government falls. Government falls. So the people need to stop and think. The people need to stop and think. And people may have said, what William Mallon failed to do was communicate, because now they're hearing a story everybody understands and sees that there was no issue with agreeing for the aid. There was none. When we saw the Dutch was not going to change their minds, we had a deadline to meet. We met that deadline. A day after the deadline, we were sent home. Because they decide they're going to agree with whatever's proposed to us. I guess maybe they were getting an inside story from one of their representatives in government. I don't know. But what was in the documents, they agreed on in Parliament before it reached Parliament. That's like saying, we had the emergency budget. How come they didn't approve the 2017 budget amendment before the C2? What is your role as Parliament? Your role of Parliament is to go out there, peruse, read, analyze, question, and then vote your conscience. Back in 2015, I remember members of Parliament standing up and saying, I will prefer to die on my feet than beg on my knees. But as the first stroke of the pen, when the Dutch throw out, we're willing to help you, we're willing to help you, we're talking good all of a sudden, oh, but only if you sign this document, that don't got nothing to do with the aid. And only if you agree to these conditions, that don't got nothing to the aid. Those same members of Parliament say, but agree now, you keep back aid from the people. We're going to live to rue the day that we agree to this.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 fun mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of fun miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free fun miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, fun within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
We will be looking at the accountability from ministers, the Council of Ministers and individual ministers. In the past, Parliament has not been very vigilant in calling out ministers to give an account of their portfolios and their decisions and the work that they're doing. We believe that this is very important. It's one of the important functions of Parliament. And we need to let ministers know that they can be held personally liable for decisions that they take that could have an adverse effect on the government and in the country. We also want to ensure that as Parliament, that the decisions that have been taken by the caretaker government, the past caretaker government, as well as decisions taken by the interim government, that those are audited to make sure that they followed the procedures and that they do not go against proper governance and administration. Another aspect of the functioning of Parliament, we have seen in the past years that Parliament establishes parliamentary committees. They're called the permanent committees or the ad hoc committees, and they do not function. And this is the reason we believe that Parliament isn't functioning, because a lot of the work has to be done in these smaller committees. The research needs to be done, the interviewing with people to get information and data, and then these smaller committees will bring that information into the central committee with proposals. What we see now is that everything practically takes place in the central committee, and the central committee just is a talk show where parliamentarians grandstand, but they do not come with proposals and solutions. We saw that even yesterday in a meeting that was held in Parliament. And we believe that the work starts in the small committees, and the St. Martin Christian Party will make sure that these committees begin to function and that they are accountable to the people. One of the things will be that we will indicate that these committees must, on a very regular basis, perhaps once a month, keep a press briefing and say, let the people know what they are doing. The people elected us there as parliamentarians, and the people need to know, because we are accountable as parliamentarians directly to the people and to the voters. And so there are several other matters that we will be dealing with in Parliament, like we want to make sure that the disaster preparation management plan is in place and that we're not caught off guard as we did last year, just before Hurricane Irma struck. We want to make sure that Parliament also gives on a very regular basis an account to the people of what it is doing. And so the public relations aspect of Parliament needs to be strengthened. So these are aspects of our manifesto that deal specifically with the Parliament. It is for the St. Martin Christian Party, our to-do list, and it's for the people, their checklist. Because when the people get this manifesto, they'll see what the St. Martin Christian Party MPs are supposed to be doing in Parliament. And if we're not doing that, then the people can hold us accountable to that. But in the manifesto, we also have another aspect, and that is the aspect of government. What we have seen in St. Martin in the past, governments, parties, they draft or they release a manifesto that tells what is going to happen in government. This is a parliamentary election, and so we first must let people know what we're going to be doing and how they can hold us accountable in Parliament. Secondly, as a parliamentarian, you will probably be involved in the forming of a government. And when forming a government, there are also a number of points that need to be negotiated. If a party doesn't have an outright majority, then if a party forms a coalition, that party needs to then negotiate. And so in this manifesto, we also have a number of points that will be negotiated with, let's say, a coalition partner to form the government. And these points are, for instance, the reconstruction of St. Martin, mentioning the short-term aspects of reconstruction, like immediate repair of damaged roofs and houses, making sure that the damaged infrastructure is put back in place. We have a medium-term reconstruction ideas that homes need to be rebuilt and tourist sites need to be restored and rebuilt, and that we need to synchronize the reconstruction with the French and the Dutch side. These are points that need to be discussed and negotiated with the government, and they would come in the governing program. What we have seen in St. Martin, that a governing program is presented after the government has been formed and after the ministers have started to function. A governing program needs to be agreed upon by the coalition partners and the ministers who have been appointed to the Council of Ministers. They need to know what they're getting themselves involved in.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Have you been able to identify those much needed projects for St. Martin following the passing of Hurricane Irma?
Well, you know, as Minister of Finance, we kind of run as a red thread through all ministries, and we really leave it up to the ministries individually to identify what they think is important and what priorities they think they want to bring to the table. And then we meet as a team and we decide together. So I prefer to defer the question to the individual ministries so that they can tell you about their priorities. Now, from the Ministry of Finance itself, it's important that we get a handle on taxes that are out there and are not collected. A country cannot run without taxes. We want services from government, and those services need to be paid for. I always say tax avoidance in according to the laws that are there is possible and mostly a must. But tax evasion is a crime. And so we need to make sure from our point of view that we collect as much as we can on taxes that people actually owe. In that same vein, in the restructuring of St. Martin, in the reconstruction of St. Martin, many new companies have started up, construction companies at that. You hear all kinds of things. You know, somebody was a hairdresser last week, and this week he's a contractor. We would hope that the reconstruction is done in the correct fashion. We would hope that those that have started companies properly employ people in the correct fashion, report the people that they have employed, pay the taxes for those people, pay the SZV for those people, because God forbid on one of those construction jobs, somebody gets an accident and ends up in the hospital. From a humanitarian point of view, Mr. Lee's people will have to provide service. That needs to be paid for. So we ask everyone that while we emphasize the need to rebuild St. Martin better and stronger, let's do it in a fashion where, first of all, the employees are properly protected, And you as a contractor, you as the entrepreneur, make a lot of money rebuilding St. Martin, and then give our government a piece of the action, what is due to us. So that would be one of the biggest priorities for us.